resumes are impressive, and we're looking for the game to be and follow suit to what we've seen on field 4. Jeff Cameron, the former U.S. national team standout, Stoke City captain, and the game winner in target score time for Blade and Grass to start things off. Hashtag United and Culture by Mo Ali FC also with victories. Chris Toth, what a story. Multiple heart surgeries. He was born in 1989. He's a beach soccer star. Played a lot in the MASL. Got the call late after the Nick Raimondo scratch. He was one of the best to ever do it at the position in MLS. Brad Evans. Applied his trade initially at UC Irvine and then turned it into a magnificent professional career. Tony Rocha. He's an MLS journeyman, and there is AJ De La Garza. 35-year-old, a 3-time MLS Cup winner. Lee Win. 18 years a pro. 9 caps with the United States. Went to Indiana for 1 season and then needed a set of eyes on him. He went to play in his homeland of Vietnam. Grew up in Texas. Came back and started making hay in MLS. Rocha to Rio Ramirez. 20-minute halves, we count up. Rocha looking on the outside to complete that pass. Shut off by Nico Pereira. There's a Pereira and a Pereira on Sneaky Fox FC, which is the name of Mike McGee, 2013 MLS MVP. That's his exquisite vodka brand. It's all about having fun. And this team has some guys who like to do so, including even cutting their first training session down here early to go win a trivia contest at a bar. It's true. They've got the hardware to prove it. And they're looking for more come Sunday. And that 7-figure prize. Mikey Ambrose. To Rocha. The 2013 MVP, Mike McGee. He is the head coach. Jay Demerit, Kyle Martino. U.S. national team fans know their names well. Will also act as coaches. Rio Ramirez for Win. Pulling strings for De La Garza. Evans had a sloppy first touch. Ambrose finds the recovery. Argudo is there. Zala FFF. That's Chris Toth standing in their way. Mentioned his success at the beach soccer level. The United States just won their first CONCACAF crown for the first time in 10 years, 3 weeks ago. Qualifying for the Beach World Cup, which they've done now 3 straight times in 7 of the last 12. It was May 14th. They beat Mexico. The 2 finalists get into the Beach World Cup. And you'll see and hear names that have went that route down here in the greater Raleigh area this weekend. Indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter. That's what makes the roster composition so compelling for this first edition. As we because you're a big name or a global brand doesn't mean you're going to have success, and we've seen that already with some
field 3, that's the end of the first
eyebrow-raising scores to start and well-earned victories from some of the upstarts. And you can see those games running concurrently right now. As any soccer football fan in the U.S. would know, the story of Wrexham and how they've taken their rise. They've got a team here taking on Como, and former NBA MVP Steve Nash is on that team. Just saw Chad Johnson, a 3-time NFL All-Pro, playing for Natty SC. The list is endless.
With kickoff set for 2:15
this field is shorter, and Zala put to the other end on the break.
In the Group H matchup,
Drake Bird was coming up the field.
Kickoff is set for 2:15 p.m.
It's the longtime defender, Michael Harrington. Played his college ball not far from here in Chapel Hill with UNC. 10-year MLS veteran with 4 teams. A lot of those years with Sporting Kansas City. It's going to sneak out. And Sneaky Fox going to work it back into play. This is Nick Pereira. Mentioned the indoor game, the Major Arena Soccer League, and he's one of the best. There he is, 36. 400-plus career points in the MASL. Captain of the USMNT beach soccer team. Guy can do it all. He speaks 5 languages. The indoor MVP as recently as this past season, 2022-23. Almost halfway through the first half. There's been a ton of clear-cut chances. An early flurry from Zala. Want to control the tempo.
And fans on field 1 inside the stadium.
A lot of savvy players wearing white. Sneaky Fox
leads Wrexham Red Dragons 1-0.
In the black kit from head to toe. Rio Ramirez, Tony Rocha. Bucci Obinwa, once upon a time, was on the Columbus Crew roster. He never got going there.
And on field 4,
U.S. Youth International.
Sneaky Fox taking on Zala FFF.
That's a nice turn and tuck, and Rocha just missed it.
In the 10th minute.
Don't have to travel back far. Tony Rocha was on Orlando City. He has 3 caps with the Belize national team.
And don't forget, fans,
It's 2021 with the Purple Lions. He was with Orange County SC.
It's the Duke Sevens taking on
USL Championship last year. Spiked a little too hard, looking for Pereira, but he applauds the effort. Benoit. Rocha from Ambrose. '25-year-old J. Rio Ramirez. Goalkeeper, like so many playing in lower divisions or semi-professional, adult leagues, hoping to get a look. Take them to the next level of their careers. Here's Rocha. On down to the byline. Once and then twice and wide. Well, the opening was there.
Checking in on field 3, we are getting to resume with second half action. Currently the score is Charlotte FC 1 and
here's
TST
Harrington.
0.
And the cross delivered inside for Pereira. Rocha keeping a close eye on him. Declan McGlynn now out there inside that penalty area for Sneaky Fox. And a foul call just outside with the free kick coming. Drew Connor created it. You got Chris Wingert, another longtime league vet. Harrington's going to stand over this with 7.5 remaining in the opening 20. And it's dunked in. Ian Bennett with the opening goal for Sneaky Fox. Another master of the Major Arena Soccer League with 456 career points, so it's nothing new when he finds the goal. And that was teed up beautifully from Michael Harrington, most recently playing with the Milwaukee Wave. A back-to-back MVP twice. He's got the first goal for Sneaky Fox in the TST.
Checking on field 4. It's a Sneaky Fox goal in the 14th minute.
This is Group G.
Zala,
Rocha,
FFF 0.
stalked by one of the more unique personalities in the game. It's not just in the U.S., but anywhere. Steven Lenhart. Quite the career. The answer at the other end. We're even at 1 apiece. Mo Anker has the first goal for Zala, and it comes just about 90 seconds after a goal by Bennett. Anker, who played collegiately at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. He had transferred there from Central Arkansas. 23-year-old. Helped them win a couple of conference titles. 5 minutes remaining in the half. Goals in quick succession. About a minute apart. 14th minute for Bennett. Anker in minute 15. Declan McGlynn. Turn that to the middle. Lenhart still wants to continue the dialogue. He started in Columbus, relative unknown, but a diamond in the rough found by the late, great Ziggy Schmid out of Azusa Pacific. Plotted his way out to the Bay Area, teamed up with Alan Gordon to form the Bash Brothers in that electrifying 2012 Supporter Shield winning San Jose Earthquakes team. Got the spear of the defense right now, inside of 4 minutes in the first half. The teams exchanging goals a minute apart. Luis Argudo, speaking of another guy who got his start under Caleb Porter in Columbus in 2019. Found his way to Inter Miami in the expansion draft. He played his college ball in this state at Wake Forest. It's a pretty good one too. Nice little takeaway by Drew Connor, the 29-year-old. He was in the Chicago Fire Academy for a long time. He got 3 seasons with the first team. Didn't go far to play collegiately at Wisconsin. Almost had that steal. J. Rio Ramirez. And that is going to leave a mark. And hit up high. Ramon Palmer takes a caution. In the World Cup or any global competition, usually the 2 cautions get you the suspension for the next game, the accumulation suspension. 3 here in the TST. And AJ De La Garza shakes it off. And off the resumption, Toth has to dart out.
Goal, Como 1907.
It was smoked in. Abuchi Obinwa. Argudo, still just 27. You can see previous finals of the day's action at the screen, the bottom of your screen. And the games going on right now are at the top. Charlotte FC, the only MLS branded club here, in honor of the late Anton Walks. Just seen their match tied with North Carolina FC, who plays in this facility on the regular, of course. This is their home park. Como with the lead on Wrexham, so plenty of action to digest. Fast, furious, and fun. The TST, its very first day, in Cary, North Carolina. Final 20 seconds of the first half that saw both goals a minute apart. It sails away, and they were hoping to find Pereira. Ewan Holden. His brother Stu. A great career that was riddled with injury. 35-year-old who was born in Scotland. We've got 1 minute of added time.
Fans, North
Lee
Carolina
Wynn.
FCU is proud to have current and former coaches, players, and staff for participating in TST.
Several times.
Visit NCFCU.com
Wrote his name into the MLS MVP conversation.
for kids of all ages and abilities.
Mid-2010s, the runs of the Revs. Lost the Cup final in 2014 to the Galaxy. We've hit halftime. 1-1. This opening matchup between Sneaky Fox FC and Zala FFF in Group G. The goals from Ian Bennett of Sneaky Fox and Mo Anker of Zala FFF. Back with more from Carey in a bit.
Fans on field 4. We're at halftime between Sneaky Fox and Zala FFF. It's a close game. They are tied 1-1 at half.
We are set for target score time between Como 1907 and Wrexham Red Dragons. The target score is 3.
And fans, a score update from Field 1 inside the stadium. Between Como 1907 and the Wrexham Red Dragons, they're in target score time. The target score is 3 at current. Como 1907 leads the Wrexham Red Dragons 2-0. Fans, as you venture around the beautiful Wakemet Soccer Park, be sure to check out the soccer.com merchandising tent conveniently located near the event entrance. There you can purchase all official TST and team apparel on site. And fans, an update on Field 3. It's an NCFC goal in the 32nd minute. NCFC leads Charlotte FC 2-1. And fans, a score update from Field 1 inside the stadium. Como 1907 leads Wrexham Red Dragons 2-1. They're in target score time. The target score is 3. And on field 3, it's an NCFC goal in the 34th minute. Your score, NCFC 3, Charlotte FC 1. And fans on field 4, we're getting ready for second half action between Sneaky Fox and Zala FFF. They are tied at 1.
Had a little rain here. It has subsided. We're back in Cary, North Carolina, the Wake Med Soccer Complex. The very first TST, fourth game of the day here on field 4. This is Group G. Sneaky Fox, Zala FFF. A goal apiece. That Sneaky Fox goal was on their lone shot. In the first 20 minutes, Zala FF the better chances, yet they trailed before 23-year-old Mo Anker delivered the tying goal a minute after Ian Bennett scored for Sneaky Fox. We'll play 20 more minutes, but then it's target score time. The game must end on a goal. If this score scenario continues, it would be 2, tied at 1 apiece, where the leading team scorer has 1 more added to it. And players come off after 5 minutes to open up the field. That time is kept by our referee on the field, and that's Brandon Merriman, who's in charge of things, and the second half gets underway. Evening session to follow on these same fields for game 2 of the group stage. 2 of the 3 group stage games completed today. Third game for every team in this 32-team, 8-group format, completed through the morning and early afternoon tomorrow, and then the knockout rounds. The round of 16 starts tomorrow evening, featured on Peacock throughout the weekend until the final on Sunday on CNBC for the $1 million prize. Amateur, semi-pro, pro, it doesn't matter. The game has no boundaries. The quilt composition of the roster, fascinating.
Field 3, it's an NCFC goal.
Many former MLS players stacked on these teams.
Your score, NCFC 5.
Those who have had great success. Brad Evans worked that around. Sneaky Fox determined to start in possession. Nick Ramondo, who was a late scratch, was saying that it's first game, they'll have to figure it out tactically A lot of teams will. Many playing together for the first time. Evans around Bennett. He's the goal scorer for the Mike McGee-led team. Chad Vandergriff, 33-year-old with 9 years in Major Arena Soccer League.
Charlotte FC 2.
There's Anchor, the goal scorer for Zala FFF,
And
snuffing that out.
Update on field 1 inside the stadium.
It's bumped out by Nick Pereira.
Has taken the equalizer goal in the 48th minute. Goal scored by Lewis Lloyd. Assist by Philip Mirkovich and Daniel
G, the
Davis.
winner here will try to keep pace with Team Dempsey, who rallied to beat the Jackson, Tennessee Boom.
So next goal wins.
Goalkeeper taking a penalty in that game. Wild affair. And how it finished out, you can see where Wrexham has rallied from a 2-goal deficit. And they're in target score time. North Carolina FC. They've got 5 on the MLS club, Charlotte FC. Raleigh Rebels, another group of mainly MASL players leading the Duke alumni team, Duke Sevens. That's at the tail end of the first half. Early stages here of the second.
Fans on 3.
Got a new goalkeeper in play for
That's the
Zala.
end of regulation. We're headed to target score time. Your current score, NCFC 5, Charlotte FC 2.
We are down to 5 on 5. Tension building in the scoring time.
There's Argudo battling inside with Declan McGlynn. Sneaky Fox coming away unscathed. On the combination, Argudo. A good incising pass from Tony Rocha, but there's Chris Toth, who got the start, with Nick Raimondo being a late scratch, but he is not shy on experience, especially in settings and formats like this. Beach soccer, indoor soccer.
And
There's
on
Harrington.
court 5, fans.
That flash by McGlynn, the former U.S. Youth International. He's the all-time leading scorer at Seattle University. The Red Hawk played with Ballard FC last year. Bennett's shot is high. Changes on the fly. Unlimited substitutions.
On field 4, it's Sneaky Fox.
Rosters
and
of up to
Zala.
18, just like you'd have
neck and neck tied at 1
in the big
apiece
game.
In the 25th minute.
Playing out of the back, Eduardo Pollo Cortez. He's the new man on for Zala FFF. The 29-year-old. He's an up-and-coming goalkeeper still in the MASL. And with Mesquite, St. Louis, and San Diego. On the all-rookie team 3 years ago. It's not been often, at least here on field 4, where we've seen the goalkeeper switch at the half. But AJ De La Garza and his group riding the 1-2 touch wave. That was their agenda coming in.
The game winner, scored by number 11, George Boyd.
They've got two capable keepers to do so.
Your final score, Wrexham Red Dragons.
Fans on field 5. It's the end of the first half. Your score, Raleigh Rebels FC 1.
Cortez.
Duke 0.
Minding his own business. The game just went final on field 1. Wrexham,
Fans, a score update from field
which trailed
1
that
inside
game
the stadium.
2-0.
Where the Wrexham Dragons
Battles
have
back to
defeated
take it
Como
3-2.
1907 by a score of 3-2.
$1 million.
The club has been a big talking point now for about a year and a half. Lee Wynn creates room. Toth with a toe poke. Keeps it 1-1. Here's Toth. Comes up big to deny Lee Wynn as he rounded the top of the penalty area. Best 11 selection. Now it is 10 seasons ago. That's the goal scorer for the Zala FFF. Mentioned at the beginning.
It's a tight match between Sneaky
Their
Fox
name,
and
their
Zala
team name,
FFF.
promoting
They are all tied at
personalized wellness.
28th minute.
Technology for fingerprint data for health and performance optimization. Play at this high of a level even here today with the rain picking up again. And that's spilled by Toth. Oh, what a defensive breakup by Connor. In the back. He comes up big with Toth, who had tipped over. Mentioning Father Time undefeated in this game. Tell that to these former MLS pros. And Zala FFF on the end of it nearly took the lead again. We had rain at the start. Now rain here in the middle. Just shaving for the last 10 minutes. Rocha hits a rope. On to find Drake Bird, the 24-year-old. Couldn't nestle it down. Mo Anchor. Here's Bird. D3 college ball in Maine. He's one of those guys in the lower leagues of the states, UPSL, Boston Street Premier, but they're showcasing him and his speed. The reinstall comes from the back from Zala FFF. Shown their possession prowess. Toth took that away. He's got Chris Wingert out there in front of him. In minute 31 of 40. If it finishes like this through the 40 minutes, target score time, that target goal will be 2. Golden goal situation, essentially. Turnover, Anchor, Argudo. The break was on, the passing was not. And it missed the mark. Daniel Guzman was in on that 3-on-2 for Zala. clip of the cross by Holden. Gets rerouted back to Toth. He's at midfield, 65 yards long. Look at a normal pitch and basically just take touchline to touchline across the way. Some can vary in length, but not here. 65-45 the dimensions. Smaller goals.
6-on-6 soccer action.
7v7, but the important numbers for these two opening up play in Group G, 1-1. Each goal a minute apart. We've seen that reaction, not just in this game, but quick responses throughout the day on Field 4.
Sneaky Fox versus Zala FFF, tied at 1 in the 33rd minute.
Cortez tried to split the defense with that pass. Here's Wingert. Played collegiately at St. John's.
And fans on field 5. We are close to starting
Columbus
second
and
half
Salt
action,
Lake.
where the Raleigh Rebels FC lead Duke Sevens
The
1-0.
crux of his MLS career. This is
Second
tucked
half will be
and hit
underway
well.
momentarily.
Perea is on, also there with Pereira. It's the latter with the heavy shot. Then comes off the field with Lee Wynn nibbling again to the interior. Rodrigo Souza on briefly, but then back off. Rocha. And a clumsy foul. Quincy Amarikwa scored a goal or two in his time. Played with 5 different teams. Actually 6 in MLS. 1 MLS Cup with Colorado. Back in the early days, he's out of UC Davis. That was the 2010 MLS Cup. Coming into the last 5. Rocha's shot is high. And that clipped ball in from the touchline. Toth, just gonna bowl it out. It's got to bounce once inside his own half. It did, just to spring Amarikwa. Harrington's gonna chop down Argudo in the middle. And that's gonna get a yellow from Brandon Merriman. The referee brings it out on Michael Harrington, who comes off. Late stages of this second half.
And fans on field 5, we are underway with second half action between the Raleigh Rebels.
Much of this roster on both teams.
Their score, Raleigh Rebels 1, Duke 0.
Heavy MLS pedigree, but it's been the up-and-comers in the lower divisions and the stars of the indoor game that have provided the sustenance for the goals. Those were in half 1. There's Cortez. Oh, what a goal! Mikey Ambrose. A sliver of a poke on that ball by Cortez. A keeper assist. That's a keeper for the highlight reel.
5, Charlotte FC 3.
The seeing eye single.
For this match is 6.
Mikey Ambrose, just enough to guide it by Chris Toth. And the lead again for Zala. They scored. Or had rallied to tie. Pardon. And nearly blinked their eyes and the lead is gone. There's Pereira. And there are the juggernauts of the indoor league teaming up with Bennett. Back to Pereira. And that assist moments ago by Cortez, a distant memory. And that man knows his way around a goal. 36-year-olds back to even. One of these teams acting as each other's shadow on each side of the half. A minute apart, the goals in the first half. Sneaky Fox struck first. Well, how about 13 seconds? Here in half number 2, setting up toward a target score and a golden goal situation. As we're inside the last 2 minutes. Been a lot of talk on the outside about getting to face Team Dempsey, but this is an important game for these two teams of well-known in the top American flight. Going to get a minute of added time. Team Dempsey prevailed in the clutch. Came from behind to wind in the target score territory. They're atop Group G. This is the opening match for each of these teams. With one more coming this evening. Down to 40 seconds. Trying to keep it till the very last second. Did mention we'll have another minute of injury time. Look upfield. Ambrose plays his keeper. Cortez already contributed 1 point. Now he's got to get back.
And on field 4, it was Sneaky Fox with the equalizer goal.
Secured that. Now starts Win. Back upfield for Zala FFF. And they take the lead. Going into target score time. Will they get this corner away in time? Rocha. And Toth. Whip that away. A throw like that, which won't matter anyway, needed to bounce on the out cue before in his own half, but it's irrelevant. We have hit the final moments of action through the 40 minutes. Jay DeMerit, Alan Gordon, Mike McGee, who's wearing that ball cap, Sneaky Fox, Zala FFF, and the target score time. Next goal wins it. between these two. It goes 2-2 after an exchange of goals 13 seconds apart. Here's your rules in target score time, with each team on 2 goals. Just add 1. And the small caveat of every 5 minutes, with the time kept on the field, they will pull a player off. Captivating action, to say the least, through the first half day of the soccer tournament.
NCFC goal. NCFC wins the match 6-3.
Born after
Over
the success of the TBT, the basketball tournament's going to have its 10th edition this summer. Mostly familiar to a lot of alumni bases in the college basketball landscape, but that has expanded well beyond just that. The perfect cocktail of global interest, different backgrounds to play this great game, coming to fruition here with brand new rules in the 7-on-7 you see in the TST. It's been a fantastic crowd that's peppered in throughout the day. Seeing some of the big names and faces not only in this game but other pro sports stalwarts. See Nick Raimondo in the background. He gave way to Chris Toth. He's been the starting keeper for Sneaky Fox.
On field 5, it's Raleigh Rebels FC.
Zala FFF going over
Duke 0.
their thought patterns. Remember, spending yourself here, and you can dig into the bench perhaps. You've got another group stage game to go later today. Just like any format like this, the best of 3 round robin in the group stage, it's so important to get off to a good start, an opening victory, which Blade and Grass did. Culture by Moali FC in game 2 on this field 4. Hashtag United, which almost let victory slip away, leading by 2 heading into the target score time. Great rally by Natty SC. And we're in a stalemate at 2 apiece, with the next goal winning it here in this Group G opener. A little bit of a break before the evening session in the second games of the group stage. Duke 7 and the Raleigh Rebels, the only one in progress. Groups that have played together, these teams that have had continuity, playing indoor or in the adult cash leagues or just in the amateur leagues, have shown their mettle and merit with the results so far. Big names, Borussia Dortmund and Wolves, West Ham, all have found that out the hard way in their first game. Pollo Cortez to run that little set play, win, intervening. There's Argudo. He had a great look. Would have capped the game winner. Ian Bennett breaks into the attack. Send that into the congestion. Argudo. Trying to work around the long time MASL man. Ewan Holden to Nico Perea, 30-year-old. Colombian-born, American-raised beach soccer standout. He was on that qualifying team back on May 14th that beat Mexico to win the Continental title. 9 goals. He was the tournament MVP. That title, the right to reserve for the one who finds the winner here. With a 2-2 and target score time. 5 minutes kept on the field. Starting 7-on-7, but it may not end that way. Winger. It's Bennett. Winger. Lob that into the middle. Rocha. Watching it clear away. He was tugged at. A.J. De La Garza.
On field 5, Raleigh Rebels lead Duke 3-0 thanks to a 34th
So he played
minute
for
goal
2 national
by
teams,
Raleigh
the United
Rebels
States and then Guam.
Dominic Jensen. That game on
So the
field
Lee
5
brothers
will
are
be
the
33rd
DMV diplomats. In Group B have that same recognition. Toth had lunged out. It created some mischief momentarily, and now Bennett leads the break. Nico Perea. Wingert. Trying to go back to Perea. Rocha. Pollo Cortez. Provided the assist on the Ambrose goal. Gave Zala FFF that brief lead. I mean brief, 13 seconds. Before Nick Pereira answered the bell at the other end. The next goal wins it here. Cortez looks to be the architect right at half field. We've seen these setups. We're running thin on the first 5 minutes before players will start to peel off. Ankin. Drop that for De La Garza. Corner here for Zala.
I think he went to one time.
You can see that wide picture. We're down to 6v6, 5 field players apiece. Previous game on this field got down to 4 apiece. Natty SC and hashtag United. Lee win. But rubbed off by Pereira, who's out in front of the pack, but steered wide. That's good goalkeeping by Cortez. He had to be. Did catch a piece. Now the Zala keeper, Nick Pereira. Didn't lift that the way he wanted to. It still almost worked out because Bennett
Sneaky Fox versus Zala.
had a great look, a clean look.
Goal wins.
But couldn't sneak it inside the post. It was 1-1 at the half. A short-lived lead for Zala in half number 2. These two clubs very close to mirroring each other, not only in the roster build, but how this game 1 play has turned out in Group G. Cortez, with a little redirection, Argudo couldn't round the bend. Now he's hustling back. Joey Calistri is defending him there. Chicago Fire homegrown and out of Northwestern. He's played with Phoenix Rising. Here's Vandergriff. Down at the flag, and Amarikwa pinballing that off Rocha. Sneaky Fox. And the dark hit, Zala the light. Home white, one would say. Toth. Still 6v6 for the moment. He'll take his sweet old time and see if anything develops. Bennett. Driving run.
And fans on
that
field
cross
5, that's the end of regulation.
Off a Zala player. Ambrose says he kept it in. Former University of Maryland man does not agree. Here comes the corner. Bennett.
On field 5, we're going to enter target score time.
Down low where Cortez is there.
Of 5, first team to 5 is the winner.
Methodical from Cortez. He can show that precision passing, has an assist. That's the man he found, Ambrose, who leaves it off for Obinwa. Deep in the channel, you can see the motion from Brandon Merriman to send off a couple more. Of course, that's intentional here in the target score time. Opening up the field a little more. Five on 5 now, 4 field players aside. Who will find the third? Beyond this sequence, Rocha looking for De La Garza.
Fans, it's still a nail biter on field 4 between Sneaky Fox and
Just
Zala
Toth.
FFF. We are tied 2-2. Next goal wins.
Played a long stint with the San Diego Sockers. Now he's bringing it up. Forced to get into the action. Harrington almost had that slip through. Ramon Palmer 8-year indoor soccer league veteran. 143 games. He was in the thick of it. Needless to say, you'd call this a measured approach by both teams right now, with all the space out there and not wanting to make the mistake that can cost you the game. Cortez. An initial avenue through the traffic wasn't there. Now De La Garza. Unforced giveaway. Harrington for Toth. Toth. Pereira. Palmer and Pereira. Hit it on the screws. Cortez almost obstructed there by Palmer, but got enough on it. Not the corner away. It's all the way back to midfield. Toth. 2-2. Next goal takes it. Here's Toth. Wouldn't that have been something? Saw a goalkeeper penalty converted already. In the Team Dempsey game, the other two games in this group. De La Garza. The goalkeeper's now subbing out. J. Rio Ramirez, who was the starter in the first half, returning. Another ball has found its way into the proceedings. It's been around the outside. Quick little look from Guzman. For Zala FFF. They trailed in the first half. They led in the second half briefly. Here's Pereira. He was amped up. Wanted to end it right there, Nick Pereira.
And fans on field 5, that's a final. Raleigh Rebels FC 5, Duke 0. Raleigh Rebels FC is now just 6 wins away from walking away with $1 million.
Cozying it into the attacking half. J. Rio Ramirez. Toth. His counterpart comes up clutch. The field isn't getting bigger. The personnel dropping like flies. Still a 5v5 situation with the 4 field players. And we're going to shrink it a little more. The teams, that is. So suspenseful. And how you go about doing this. You're an MLS player, used to the small-sided games.
Fans on field 4.
But now spacing it out to where you're 4-on-4.
It is a 4-on-4 matchup. Next goal wins.
Looking at a field almost 70 yards long. J. Rio Ramirez.
Once again, that's field 4. Sneaky Fox FC taking on Zala.
He is determined. Maybe the goalkeepers are determined to end this thing.
TST soccer.
Now you're looking for reinforcements, and that brings them into the equation. Pereira Toth. Chris Toth. Nico Perea. Two beach soccer stars. Toth, where the air is crisp. Sneaky Fox takes their opener in Group G. Toth, and that thing had talons. It was razor sharp to the upper 90. Mentioned at the outset, this guy's had quite a life. A couple of heart surgeries. The scratch and claw for every inch that he's had in the game. And he shined in other facets of it, and he can add one more to the resume here at the soccer tournament.
Please head towards the exits. We'll be clearing the park before the start of the next
A keeper kills it off
Session 2 doors will reopen
in each team's Group G opener. 3-2 the final. Sneaky Fox. They led first. They lead last, which is the most important. And atop the Group G standings with Team Dempsey. Riveting action through the first 4 games here on Field 4 in steamy Cary, North Carolina. The soccer tournament continues later this evening with games the second round of the group format. Nick Forbes and Mike Glennon, a phenomenal job here on Field 4. I'm Neil Sika. We thank you for watching. More action coming up this evening from the soccer tournament. 3-2. Sneaky Fox the winner here in Group G over Zala FFF.